Hey there! Ever talk to your grandparents about how much things used to cost, a soda for a nickel? Wow, prices change, they go up. This upward creep has a name, it's called inflation. Sounds a bit scary maybe, but we can understand it together. It's a part of how money works. So what exactly is inflation? It's when prices for lots of things rise, not just one item like your favorite game, but many things, all across the board. Food, clothes, movie tickets, everything. It happens over a period of time. This means your money buys a little less. Each dollar doesn't stretch as far. It's a key idea in economics. Let's use an example. Think about a delicious chocolate bar. Maybe it cost 50 cents years ago. Your parents might remember that. Now that same chocolate bar, it could be $2 or even more. Same size, same taste, different price. That's inflation in action right there, making everyday treats a bit pricier. This price change isn't usually sudden. Inflation often happens slowly, a tiny bit more expensive each year. You might not even notice it day to day, but over many, many years, those small changes really add up. Understanding this helps us see how the value of money can change and why saving and planning are smart. Okay, so why do prices actually climb? Why don't they just stay the same? There are a few main reasons. One big one is called demand pull inflation. This happens when lots of people want to buy stuff. More people wanting things than things available. Everyone wants it now. This high demand pulls prices up. Imagine a super popular new toy or those limited edition sneakers. Everyone wants to get their hands on them. But the company can't make enough. Not for everyone who wants one anyway. So what happens? Stores might raise the price, because they know people will still pay. More demand than supply equals higher prices. That's demand pull for you. Another reason is called cost push inflation. This is when it costs more for businesses. More money to make the things they sell. Maybe the ingredients for pizza go up. Flour, tomatoes, cheese, all more expensive. Or the cost of electricity for the factory. Or workers need higher wages to live. Businesses pass these extra costs to us, so we pay more at the checkout. And then, there's the amount of money. Sometimes governments print more money, or make it easier to borrow money. If there's suddenly a lot more money around, but the same amount of goods and services, then each single dollar becomes less valuable. It's like having too many game tokens for the same number of arcade games. This can also cause prices to rise. So, how does inflation actually affect you? In your daily life with your own money? Well, it changes how much you can buy. Your allowance or your earnings from a job. They might not stretch as far as before, if prices are going up, that is. That $20 you saved so carefully, it might buy fewer comic books next year, or fewer snacks from the store. Let's say you want to go to the movies. You've saved up exactly enough for a ticket. But oh no, inflation happened. The cinema raised its prices. Your saved money isn't quite enough now, you might need to save a little more, or maybe you skipped the large popcorn. That's inflation hitting your plans. It directly impacts your spending power. It's not just movie tickets, of course. Inflation affects the price of food. Your favorite cereal, milk, fruit. It affects the cost of new clothes, or the video games you want to buy. Even things like bus fare can increase. This means families have to make choices. They need to budget more carefully, deciding what's essential, what can wait. So, who keeps an eye on all this? Who tries to stop prices from rocketing up? Governments are very interested in inflation, and so are special banks called central banks, like the Federal Reserve in the United States. They have tools and strategies to try and keep inflation low and stable. They don't want it too high or too low. A steady, predictable economy is the goal. Now you might be thinking inflation sounds pretty bad, right? And yes, when inflation is very high, it can cause a lot of problems. It makes your savings worth less over time. That money under your bed loses power. It's especially tough for people on fixed incomes, like retirees getting the same pension. Their money doesn't buy as much anymore. But here's a surprising twist. A little bit of inflation isn't always bad. Sometimes it can actually be a good sign. It can mean the economy is growing. People are feeling confident in spending money. Businesses are doing well and hiring. More jobs might become available. So, a small steady rise in prices. Economists often see that as healthy. The real challenge is finding the balance. Too much inflation and things get chaotic. Your money loses value very quickly. That's called hyperinflation, and it's rare but damaging. But too little inflation, or even deflation. Deflation is when prices generally fall. That might sound great at first, but it can also hurt the economy badly. People might delay buying things. So inflation is this ongoing economic story. Prices tend to rise over the long run. It happens for many different reasons. It affects our everyday lives, our choices, and what we can buy with our money. Governments and banks work to manage it. Too much is bad, but a little can be okay. Understanding inflation is pretty important. It helps us all navigate the world of money.